This is problem 4.11 from Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book from chapter 4, which goes over the blitz. Here's the position. We're blue. We rolled a 3-1. Our home board's in the bottom right. Look at the three top moves, try to figure out which one is best and why, and then we'll look at Tardieu's expert analysis getting feedback from the Extreme Gammon program. Two of the moves make a point in our home board, and the third move hits a second checker of reds and puts it on the bar. Let's see if we can rule out one of these three plays. To play where we hit another one of our opponent's checkers and put it on the bar, second checker on the bar, this play does put a second checker on the bar, and it does bring a builder down from the midpoint, 13 to 10. However, even though we're putting a second checker on the bar, we're passing up an opportunity to make a fourth inner board point, which would improve our position for the long run. Putting a second checker on the bar is a temporary gain, and temporary gains are rarely better than long-term gains, which would be a long-term gain if we made a point in our home board. This means that the choice boils down to either making the 5-point or the 2-point. So let's take a look at those two plays and rule this one out. XG says this would be a blunder to make this move. Here are the two plays, two remaining top plays. On the left, we're making the 2-point, leaving no blots after the move. On the right, in blue, we're making the 5-point, but we're leaving two blots, a blot on the 2, a blot on the 8 after the move. Take a look at each play. Think of which one you would make over the board. Let's see what Tardieu and XG say about each of these moves. The play we're making the 2-point. Tardieu says this play makes a point and does not leave an immediate return shot, no blots. But the 5-point will remain available for red to anchor on for some time, and we really want to make that 5-point. That's an important point. This hole in our prime will be a weakness for the foreseeable future, which is why XG and Tardieu don't recommend this play. They recommend the other play. We're making the 5-point. Here. This play gives us a 4-point board with no gaps, and the best 4-point board, 3.4, 5, and 6 are all covered. That's the strongest 4-point home board we can make. We'll also still have our anchor here on the 21-point in case red does hit us on the 2-point, 2-point over here. We'll have our advanced anchor to come in on. So in the worst case scenario where we get hit, we'll still have our strong board and we'll have that advanced anchor to enter on. And if the worst case scenario doesn't happen, we don't get hit, we'll be in a very strong position to make a powerful 5' from our two. If we can cover this point, we'll have 5 points covered in our home board, a very powerful prime to be put us in very strong shape for the game, which is why this is the recommended move by both Tardieu and XG. Tardieu's summary: when choosing between two plays that make the same number of points, choose the one that builds a prime and gives you a long-term positional advantage, which is what making the 5-point does. Thanks for watching. See you next time.